unveiling the truth behind gladiator battles. Join me as I dive into the truth behind gladiator battles and try to uncover what really went down in the arena. Gladiator battles are often seen as one of the most iconic and fascinating aspects of ancient Roman history. They've been immortalized in countless films, books, and TV shows, and continue to capture our imagination to this day. But what really went down in those crowded arenas? Were they simply brutal displays of violence, or was there more to them than meets the eye? When we think of gladiator battles, we often imagine Roman citizens cheering on as pairs of sword-wielding warriors clashed in mortal combat. But this image is only partially accurate. In reality, gladiatorial combat was a complex phenomenon that served a multitude of purposes beyond mere entertainment. One common misconception is that gladiator battles were purely about entertaining the Roman masses, with no deeper significance or meaning. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. Gladiator battles were also an important display of Roman power and wealth, showcasing the empire's military prowess and ability to stage elaborate, awe-inspiring spectacles. And while it's true that many gladiators were slaves or prisoners of war, not all of them were. In fact, some gladiators were highly trained professionals who voluntarily chose to participate in the games for the fame, fortune, and social status that came with it. Another myth that needs to be busted is the idea that gladiator battles were solely the domain of male warriors. While it's true that male gladiators dominated the scene, there is evidence to suggest that female gladiators, known as gladiatrices, also participated in the games. These female warriors were often celebrated for their bravery and skill, and were even featured on ancient Roman coins and artwork. Despite their popularity, gladiator battles were not without controversy. Many Romans saw them as a necessary evil, a way to distract the masses from the empire's deeper problems and injustices. Others viewed them as a cruel and inhumane practice that undermined the dignity of human life. Whatever the case, one thing is clear. Gladiator battles were a complex, multifaceted phenomenon that reflected the values, anxieties, and contradictions of ancient Roman society. Gladiators came from all walks of life, from slaves and prisoners of war to wealthy aristocrats and even Roman citizens. Each type of gladiator had its own unique style, training regimen, and set of rules, reflecting the diversity and complexity of gladiatorial combat. Some, like the Thracians, were agile and quick, using their speed and agility to outmaneuver their opponents. Others, like the Myrmio, were heavy hitters, relying on brute strength to overwhelm their foes. Training was a grueling, often brutal process that pushed gladiators to their physical and mental limits. They were taught to fight with a range of weapons, from swords and spears to tridents and nets. They were also trained to withstand pain, injury, and even death itself, which was an ever-present reality in the arena. And yet, despite the dangers, many gladiators were celebrated as heroes, their names and exploits immortalized in ancient Roman literature and art. One of the most famous gladiator battles in history is the games held by Emperor Titus in 80 AD, which featured a staggering 9,000 wild beasts and 10,000 gladiators over the course of 100 days. This event was truly a spectacle on a massive scale, with gladiators fighting each other, wild animals, and even mock sea battles. It was an event that showcased the power, wealth, and extravagance of the Roman Empire, and one that would be remembered for centuries to come. This event, and others like it, demonstrate the complexity and multifaceted nature of gladiator battles. They were not simply brutal displays of violence, but rather a carefully choreographed spectacle that reflected the cultural, social, and political values of ancient Rome. By examining these events, we can gain a deeper understanding of what really went down in the arena and what made gladiator battles such an integral part of Roman society. So, what did we learn about gladiator battles today? we discovered that they were more than just brutal displays of violence, but rather complex events with cultural, social, and political significance. We explored the misconceptions and myths surrounding these events and delved into the lives of the gladiators themselves. And we examined one of the most famous gladiator battles in history, which showcased the power and extravagance of the Roman Empire. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of gladiator battles. If you want to share your thoughts on what we discussed today, please leave a comment below. And if you want to learn more about ancient Rome or gladiatorial history, be sure to check out another video on our channel.